We are live on Twitch and YouTube.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to hour 11 of the CosmoQuesticon Hangoutathon. We are here working to raise money for our science education, outreach, education, and journalism programs. We do a lot with CosmoQuest thanks to the generous contributions of people like you. Our funding goals for this weekend are to increase our membership in Patreon and get that number up to $2,500 per month. And if we succeed in doing that, we are going to not only be able to maintain everything we're currently doing, we will also be able to send two of us, myself and Eric, to the Artemis 2 launch to cover it and any other launches that occurred that week.
And Eric has never been to a live rocket launch, so I'm just like, I'm very invested in getting him to this launch, and especially since he has been meticulously covering Artemis for us, like, since we hired him. And so it would just be amazing to be able to actually send him to see it in person.
And our other goal, so the two main ways that people generally contribute to us are through a Kindful link that has a non-intuitive interface if you're hanging out with us in Twitch. So our only goal for Kindful this weekend is to maintain a palindrome. And we had the wonderful palindrome of 4444 for many hours. And we were pleased because the palindrome was achieved so early in the weekend. And the palindrome has been ruined.
And I think that if someone was to donate, if I'm doing my, hold on.
I've lost my mouse.
If I'm doing my math right, if someone donated $500, we would be at a palindrome again.
There's so many good reasons to donate. Eric's sense of wonder, making a palindrome, but also citizen science and astronomy.
So
We're very serious people here.
it's true. So if you donated $500, that would bring us up to the palindrome 4994. There are much lower numbers that you could succeed at getting us to a palindrome at.
But that's the one that I could math out in my head the easiest.
Right. So for instance, if you instead donated, I hate doing math in my head on stream. I just would
This makes me feel better that the PhD astrophysicist has as much trouble as me doing math.
Okay. Some math person in the audience just now heard, can I create an equation that will get me between palindromes?
No,
Yeah.
we had someone in our audience make that.
So
Fantastic.
the next palindrome is at $4,554, and I'm trying to math, having been streaming for more than 10 hours now, the math to get there, and this is where my brain has absolutely fried, and apparently I need to open a calculator to figure out 4554 minus 4494. There's a one that needed to be carried. $60. If someone donates $60, we will be back at a palindrome. All right, I have done the math. All right, so our goal is to get to $2,500 on Patreon, to get to a palindrome on Kindful. And we will be going to companies and other corporate donors. We need to bring in significant revenue through donations. But we know there are some of you out there that are really doing okay. And for most of you, $5 a month. We would love $5 a month that allows you to get all of our content to you for no ads, everything for you. But like, if you're the kind of person that goes to the grocery store and just buys whatever whimsy and your hungry stomach takes you to, if you are someone that realizes, oh shoot, my suit doesn't fit quite right, I need to buy a new suit, and doesn't have the bottom fall out of your stomach when you check the price tag on the suit your heart just fell in love with and your pocketbook said no to, which happened to me last week. Um, you can probably give more than $5 a month, and I'm really glad you do. You have that capacity, is what I mean to say. And if you have that capacity, and you're willing, we want to turn that into science engagement in so many different ways. But during this hour, in addition, so the palindrome is just tradition. We've always celebrated palindromes around CosmoQuest, and so it's always been, let's get from the one palindrome to the next palindrome during fundraisers. And so Kindful has always been the place for palindromes. We often set yearly fundraising goals that are palindromes. That's just the way we roll. So, CosmoQuest was built on a backbone of podcasting, quite by accident. Back in 2005, February 14th, I started my first podcast, Slacker Astronomy. A little over a year later, on Labor Day weekend, 2006, Fraser and I launched Astronomy Cast. January 1, 2009, we launched 365 Days of Astronomy, which Aviva is the project director for. During the pandemic, we launched whatever 4 seasons ago was Escape Velocity Space News. And this history of podcasting has allowed us to take science so many places. And Rich has been there for years, helping with 365, helping with Astronomy Cast. Aviva has been there since we had breakfast in Beijing at an astronomy conference. And I needed a new project director, and she needed new ways to keep growing what she does so well. We adopted Allie during the pandemic, and we're bringing Alex in today. And Alex and Allie come to us with a history in podcasting, where Alex did one of the early, was it a podio book or just a podcast?
No, it was a patio book. The wonderfully named patio books. Yeah, that was actually when it sort of broke out. Was when I converted it to their site format and actually listed with them. Just because it was one of the only like fully scored podcasts of its day as a fiction audiobook.
Sorry. We have a really weird background problem that isn't creeping out onto stream, but is invading Allie and I's ears.
No, it just creeped out onto stream.
Okay, well, it does that
Hi,
too.
everyone. Y'all just got to see how much Sabrina Carpenter I listened to.
Oh, my. No, Zoom was like, no copyrighted content. So as far as I heard, about a millisecond.
No, it's because if I accidentally
Girly
boop
pop,
the button on my Beats, it activates, because I'm using my computer, and it activates my Apple Music app and starts playing whatever I was listening to last, which happened to be Sabrina Carpenter, because I like pop music. So I apologize for that, everyone. Please continue, Pamela.
So yeah.
Yes, I got to espresso myself. Broken Symmetry. Thank you.
So Patio Books was a project by Evo Terra and Christopher Miller. Christopher Miller was actually the person who originated the idea for this Hangout-a-thon. So I guess we're both here in a way because of Chris Miller. It was an amazing platform. It got me into independent audio fiction. I've been a member of Audible Books rather, since it launched, because that's just me. And today, we're in a position to keep growing what we're doing, to keep creating new and interesting stuff. And we get to enter people's lives with science and fiction and music and art in ways nobody else gets to. Alex, how often do you get the comment, I fall asleep to your voice.
I not as often writing thrillers, I suppose, but
That's true. That's true. Fair, fair.
sometimes, I've gotten weirder compliments on my voice, so there you go.
Okay, please share with the class.
Oh no, I just had somebody write in asking other people to rate me against other contemporaries in terms of sexiness because she felt that I had the sexiest voice.
I have
And
gotten that one as well. Yes.
Isn't that
I
a
was trying
weird,
to. I was,
isn't that
it feels.
it's
Okay, it feels weird, but when you're doing audiobook narration, it feels like a brand that you want.
Yes.
Versus
no,
if you're trying to
absolutely.
be like, I'm a scientist. Like maybe just y'all keep those to yourselves. I don't know.
And it's particularly weird because like back in the early 2000s, we were trying to demonstrate that podcasting was an efficient way to communicate astronomy to the public. This is work that Aviva and I continue to do, and we did a survey of podcasts, astronomy podcasts, reaching out to like the other 5 people in the field at the time. We got all of our listeners information. A lot of people, thousands of people, submitted surveys, and I had to explain that among the most wished for things that people wanted on our websites were pictures of the host, and one of the things they commented on the most was our sexiness of our voice, and to be presenting these results at astronomy education research conferences where host sexiness was a factor was a very surreal and embarrassing experience, but you can't pick your research results.
that is an accurate statement.
That's true. That's true. I'm more of like a behind the scenes person. The weirdest comment I've ever gotten on my voice, and it's a very inaccurate comment. Someone said I sounded like Kathleen Turner, and I'm like, first of all, no, and second, thank you.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
And third, that is a really strange thing to say to someone you don't know. It's like I've never been so like flattered, horrified, and confused at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. Accurate emotions.
Yeah, and just
As for myself, I've only encountered one listener in the wild. It was just this
Really?
summer at an astronomy event, and someone I was talking and pointing out stars with a green laser, and then someone said, "Well, who are you exactly?" And I said, "I'm Richard Drum, the editor of the 365 Days of Astronomy podcast, and editor of astronomy." And then someone behind me said, "It's you. You're the voice." That's what you. So I actually got to meet someone, a listener. Wow.
it's so cool to meet fans. It's so cool.
Yeah, I hope I can meet someone. But the weird thing I received is they said that I talk too fast. It is for Indonesian one. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's a compliment. I need to work on it.
It's probably the there's research that shows that people who live in big cities talk faster, and you live in a mega city, so I'm going to blame the city
Yeah, I
size
guess
for
so.
how fast you speak. Now, Aviva, one of the things that you get to do with 365 Days of Astronomy is talk to baby podcasters just in the process of getting started and help them get their content out to the world through 365 Days of Astronomy. What is the most amazing growth you've seen? For me, it's Paul Matt Sutter, seeing him go from like postdoc starting out to now being like major author working with dance companies to help them choreograph stuff dedicated to the stars. It's like a wild transformation. For you, what has it been, Aviva?
Well, I think yes, it's Paul Metzater because he's still doing it with us.
Yeah.
And in the in the past we have Morgan Renberg. He started
Yes.
with the monthly podcast. It's about it's like monthly news.
Mm-hmm.
It's a brief news. So and then he's going with the Fraser for the wait, what's the
The
weekly
weekly
hangout
space
or
hangout.
something?
Yeah, the
Yes,
weekly
weekly
space
space
hangout.
hangout. And I think after that, well, he's keep rising with his career. So
Yeah.
we have seen so many people, and also one another person. He's not contributing anymore. It's his name is Chris. He has the series of World of Astronomy. So
Oh,
actually, the thing that I do now, it's kind of remembering his podcast in I think more than 5 years ago. No, 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 it's not 5 years ago. It's 10 years ago. So we have that, and after that, I think he also started with us. Yeah, we have so many people, and then we also help um, other podcaster to grow their podcast as well, like the Cosmic Savannah.
yeah,
They
that's one of
have
my
a
favorites.
huge audience, international audience through 365 Days of Astronomy, and it helps them with the grant in South Africa.
And they got to do a stage show for Cosmic Savannah at the International Astronomical Union meeting, and that was just amazing to see.
Yes.
It's just like I remember when we first got their show, and we see some of the wild and craziest stuff. There was one time when we were so confused. There was a podcast that we thought we heard cosmic latest work, and we were really worried that it was woo and not real science, and what do we do? And no, it was cosmic lettuce, as in the green leafy vegetable. We misheard them completely. and
Yes.
and it was just silliness, and so we were having like all of these emotional, how do we handle this? We
To be
don't want to,
fair,
yeah.
to be fair, cosmic lettuce does kind of sound like something that an
That sounds like a
astronomer
strain.
would name something.
It's
Right.
true.
A nebula. Yeah.
Yeah,
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 Yes.
they're yeah,
we're not allowed to name things.
because there's a whole running joke,
Mhm.
right, that like astronomers aren't allowed to name things because they
We're
Yeah, I mean, you
glad,
got your
Alex.
Skywalker OG, you got your Cosmic Lettuce.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
There's an actual star that's actual catalog abbreviation is Tau Booby. It has a planet. We shouldn't name things.
I started talking
And
about
Pamela.
Tau Booby to my wife, and she was like, "What?" She like I saw her brain like catch up, and she's like, "How do you spell that?"
Exactly the way
Okay,
you
I want to.
think. Go ahead.
Can I add one more
Always.
experience?
Yeah.
I think Cosmic Savannah on stage is my first experience meeting our podcasters on stage, and
Yes.
they interview Brian Smith at, in there. It was so
Nobel
amazing.
laureate.
Even though after that it's really late because like they finish at 10 p.m. So it's quite late to walk out and going back to the hotel in South Africa. But it was awesome. It's
Now,
really awesome to see them.
it's been amazing watching this technology grow. Now, Alex, you're another one of the OG podcasters. When did your first podcast come out?
So you say OG, but my first one was like end of 2028 or 2008, early 2009. So yeah, that was when the Gearhart first debuted, and then yeah. So I think I'm actually sort of the third wave. Okay, I'm not hearing anyone, so that's not a good sign. Oh, wait, Richard just laughed. Okay.
Well,
All right, great. So that's two of us.
looks like Allie's laughing her head off there.
Yeah. I'm
Anyway,
having some trouble hearing from the studio all of a sudden. So,
well,
no problem. No
no
problem.
problem. It's just the two of us. Yes.
That's right. Aviva, I can hear Aviva. Aviva,
Oh,
jump on
okay.
in. But yeah.
We've
So
lost Allie, sort of. Anyway.
Pamela, to answer your question, yes, the Earhart debuted in 2009, and then I added it
Ah.
into Patio Books a little while after, and that was when it really took off.
Mm.
Wonderful. I like technology that changes its settings in the middle of recording. That's what I'm here for.
Mm.
Oh, they have been using this gear for 11 hours at this point because they've been working hard for your donations. Yeah, we'll get this right back on track. They have been working hard for your donations, and that's why their equipment is currently failing and why
Yes.
they could use donations, I am sure.
Yes. To run air
There,
conditioning to
there
keep
it
the
is.
computers
Okay,
cool.
can you hear us? Can
Nothing
you hear
else.
us?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
hear
can
me?
fine.
you.
I guess
Yay.
the bosses
Yay,
are back.
so what happened was
Your battery died, I guess.
Yeah.
no, well,
exactly.
the battery for our receiver died because we had it running on battery because when we plug it into an electrical source, it hums. So
Oh,
I
yeah, the L60
apologize
cycle.
for all of our listeners on stream that are probably having to hear like a thing. Just that's gonna happen for a minute.
I've
Yeah.
got you turned on decently loud, and I'm not hearing anything big. Anybody else
Okay.
hearing it?
Well,
Hopefully
now.
it's
That's
not
cool.
humming now.
Okay.
Fresh
awesome.
battery.
Awesome. Yeah.
Maybe
Technology.
just coming through the monitor.
Oh, it happens.
Yeah.
We have the weirdest problems.
I know, and I
Sorry.
was thinking when we started this segment, I was like, we didn't have any sound issues. We started with no sound issues, and our mics were like,
You got to wait until it's the episode about sound production for all your sound gear to act like sound gear does.
Oh yeah, right. It's like last night, Pamela and I were like, we're actually prepared. We have everything set up, and I'm just like, that means everything's going to go wrong as soon as we hit go live. And
Yep.
Yes.
because the gremlins always come out to play. If you do any kind of live streaming, live broadcast, you know that the gremlins come out to play as soon as you go live.
The mothership back there is all just single bus channel mixing, so it should be really straightforward. And periodically, one of the cats will just walk across the mixing board and change a setting, and I'm just like, how have you how is this possible?
Yeah.
Well, I've done broadcast TV for a number of years, and
There it is.
video is easy. Audio is a black art.
Oh yeah.
Lighting is worse somehow.
Well, you get that once you
Speaking
get the
which,
hang
I
of lighting,
repeated
it
the light.
becomes simple.
Yeah.
Audio is just kind of, it involves a lot of like
A lot of moving
chanting and
parts.
prayer.
As an astronomer, I would like to say lighting is my enemy on many different levels, and one day I will remember how much it's
Yeah.
going to hurt when I turn the light into my face. Today was not
And
that day.
yeah,
Yeah, I have problem with lighting. I'm really bad at it. With
The
it.
light looks fine now, that's for sure.
yeah. You taking
Because,
daylight?
Yeah, because
Mhm.
it's morning.
my left
like
side
that.
here,
Yeah.
it's the sun. It's on the
Yeah.
east. It's
A window
the
was
sun.
always
It's-
good.
She's getting that
So-
golden sunrise light.
Mm.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I'm lucky today. There is no cloud, so probably I can catch. I can have some pictures after this for the sun.
I figured out a trick where I can just use my two monitors to like move a white window around and
Oh,
come up with
that's
a lot of
interesting.
different lighting
I
scenarios
love
really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing about like being in front of lighting is to like train yourself to not look directly at it. Because I'll still like what Pamela did just now. Like I'll still like look directly into my light occasionally, and then I'm just like, So if you see me
did your
suddenly make a
parents
s-
have to be like, stop staring at the sun?
actually yes, because I'm the type of kid where when my mom said don't stare at the sun because it'll burn your retinas out, I'm like, Will it?
Mission accomplished.
Let me see. Let me see if it'll do that.
Right.
And I
Let's
was
test
also
that
the
theory.
kind of
Heal
kid
it.
that it's like if my mom said the stove was hot, I needed to stick my hand on it just to make sure it was hot.
Do any of your tattoos say challenge accepted?
No, but I do have one with a Shakespeare quote that says to mock the expectation of the world.
There it is.
Challenge accepted with much fancier language.
Well, back in the 80s, our government tell us not looking at the solar eclipse, so no one watching the solar eclipse except for for the astronomers.
What a sad,
It was-
sad reality.
Yeah, really sad. By the way, Pamela, I just remember one thing about the cosmic savannah.
Yeah.
They actually have this idea of cosmic savannah podcast during our podcast workshops in communicating astronomy with the public 2018 in Japan.
That's amazing. That
Yes.
was the last time you and I were together face to face, I think.
Exactly. And we need to have another sessions face to face in the future.
And there's another conference coming up in Tokyo. The last one was on the southern island in a city I'm not going to pretend I know how to pronounce. And we had an amazing adventure taking the bullet train and visiting Kyoto and Tokyo together. And yeah, we need to go again. And we do this to help get other people engaged in podcasting. And what we do really has the opportunity to reach people in ways we don't usually think about. And one of the reasons I wanted to have you on, Alex, is you're part of that group of writers that started your career in audiobooks and then got picked up by the big publishing houses. And in this day and age where people are expected to really do their own publicity, you have an audience. How do you see podcasting changing your ability over what your fellow writers are able to do in terms of building audience?
This is going to be such a disappointing answer. I would love to tell you that the success of the podcasting had something to do with the publishing pickup, but those two events are completely unrelated. I cut my teeth in podcasting. I made a great network. I had a commitment to quality because I'm a broadcast journalist by degree. And so I had a good understanding of sound equipment already. I had a big leg up for that. But what it gave me was a network, right? It gave me connections like meeting Dr. Pamela Gay at the Balticon podcasting panel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, the thing that ends up happening is that the publisher will say something like, well, we can't really give you, a marketing budget. And you'll say, well, that's okay. I'll just make my own t-shirt, or, well, that's okay. I'll just do this myself. And it's because I have I've worked in almost every medium you can imagine. And so, that's a really arrogant statement. So, obviously don't try and fight me too hard on it. But, music, photography, videography, sound design, all that.
Being a
narrative.
jack of all trades
And you're
is what
really
we
good at all
practice
of it.
at.
Well, they're all related. They're all about creating experiences for other people.
Yeah.
And, I'm very strongly considering doing some of my own audiobooks at some point, because I have training already doing it. I know how hard it is to produce that stuff. I have a space that sounds kind of nice and a voice that I can bring back into training very quickly, and so like it does enable you to respond to some of those challenges of publishing, but it's like one every 3 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it gave me, again, I already had a strong sense of professionalism. I've treated this and every other event as though it's a public release. For example, there was never a point where I was like dorking around, so to speak. Though I will say this, early on in the Gear Heart, for the first like 3 episodes, I would start with every single episode like, and if you're still listening, thanks for you did it, and I'd like do all this self-deprecating humor.
Well, clearly
And I
they're still
remember-
listening if they're hearing that.
I remember one of my friends calling me on the phone right after an episode release and I really am enjoying this story, but you have to stop doing that. He was like, people can't tell you're not a professional. You're telling on yourself, and the only reason I felt that imposter syndrome is just because I hadn't stayed in that career, and so whenever people are talking about like, do I start a podcast or do I not start a podcast, or will it help me with my writing, for example, I'm always like, I think that you should have some standards and that you should uphold your quality standards. But what you get out of podcasting is an incredible community and a friend network.
And I think what you said was actually more on point than you realized. So you didn't get the publishing deal because you're a podcaster. You got the book sales because you had the skills that you had developed through everything else you were doing that allowed you to respond to, we don't have a marketing budget with, it's all right, I got me.
Yes and no. I got really, I feel so bad again because I may have misled you a little bit on that one. When you have to move 19,000 books to make your advance, you could hit up every single person as hard as you could on every social media platform you have control of for months and months and months and months, and you might get 2,000 sales. And you could be speaking like, oh, it's the end of the world if I don't get these sales. And everybody, please come together for me. If you've ever done a favor for me once in your life, do it now. Okay, are they supposed to do that again next book?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And so at some point you do just have to, but at the same time, like, it means that when you are building your audience, marketing just means something different, I think, than a lot of people are thinking of. And I realize that you, as a longtime podcaster, probably already know this, but you don't build your audience through ad buys. You build your audience through going to cons and stuff, and having the practice skills so that you show up to the ball properly dressed to dance. That's what I need. If I'm going to hand out business cards, they better be awesome business cards with a cool, like a writing prompt on the back. I used to have random writing prompts on the back of all of my business cards because you could print Gang Run. Back then, it was fairly new to be able to do that. But you could do Gang Run prints of really nice business cards through like Moo or something like that, and they would let you swap the back on every single card. And so I was like, okay, great. I'm going to put writing prompts on the back of my business cards, and that'll be a part of the experience of meeting me, is that I tell you that you should be a writer, and here, you could write a story, So, yes. So, yes, I'm so sorry. I just, took over there. But, just to really answer your question, I think that those two things are sort of related, but in the intangible way of good fortune. I met the writer who introduced me to my agent because she was a fellow podcaster, Philippa Ballantyne, and I was really excited by the work that she was putting out at the time. I was really impressed with her quality level compared to her comrades, and so I did some fan art and stuff like that, and then she introduced me to her agent, and that is my agent today. So
Wow. It is ultimately about the connections. I met Rich because he was part of the Astronomy Cast community, and we pulled him in with 365 Days of Astronomy when the student who'd been editing for me had the audacity to graduate and go off and go into professional advertising audio video editing. He's doing amazing for himself, and now we have Rich, who is a retired, amazing radio, film, and television. And there's a certain symmetry in going from student who gets job to retired human who picks us up on the other side. And I kind of loved that symmetry. And we have Aviva because Aviva was another one of the people during the International Year of Astronomy who was on new media, who was tweeting, who was producing content, who was helping get the international projects going through the various websites. And there was this cadre of us Mike, who's been on a couple of times today, Felina, who is, I believe, currently in the Netherlands at Leiden University, uh, Pedro, who's at Leiden. There was so many people, so many places that we came together for that international event, and we built a network, and we continue to work together, and it was over breakfast where it's like, let's work together, and all of this comes from working with technology that allows us to spread what we do across a planet by pushing electrons through wires that flip bits and store our voices. We
Yeah.
are with people when they sleep. We are with people when they exercise. We are with people when they're trying not to rage at cars in traffic. We are with people in their most vulnerable moments when they're not feeling well and just need to escape into a book, into a story, into a podcast. And this gives us a power to reach people in new and interesting ways. With Astronomy Cast, one of the ways that we brought in our instro, who we talked about in the last segment, is he was stationed in Kuwait, and out in the desert they had dark skies, and he was
That's so
listening to
cool.
Astronomy Cast, and he wrote in, he asked questions, and he just kept contacting us, and then he became part of our community, and we went to his wedding last summer to another community member. We change lives with what we do, and we're not always aware of it. Um, what do you want to do in the coming year with 365, Aviva?
Mm, I'm hoping that we can have more and more podcasters, new one, and then someone who, not just someone, but I mean podcasters that giving us more storytelling about astronomy in a storytelling style, and then well, Sky Guide from not only the northern part of this hemisphere, but also the southern part. We don't have it right now. And then I think I would love to have more and more uh, basic astronomy stuff in 365 Days of Astronomy, or people sharing about their works in doing community stuff. Currently, we have okay, this year we have a new podcaster from Hong Kong, Exodus, and he talking about the dark skies. And also we have, okay,
Wait, he's
I don't
in
know
Hong
how,
Kong talking about dark skies?
yes. Now you can imagine that, right?
All right, go for it. Carry on.
And then we have, okay, maybe Rick can help me to pronounce it. The hat out, hat out us, wait,
uh,
the one with, uh,
Loretta Cannon.
yes. How
Oh,
to
the
pronounce it?
historical groups.
Yes,
Yeah.
hat astra something.
It's
Hat,
Latin.
yeah, okay. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
No.
It's
I don't know how to say it
Yeah.
either.
No, it's
Had
fine. It's
Astra
fine.
Historia. All right.
Yeah,
The
yeah, the
Historical
one,
Astronomy Division
yes,
of
right.
AAS.
it's hot, right?
She's a
The
professional
first one.
astronomer. We can't name
Yes.
things.
Okay. So we have historical and then cultural things in 365 Days of Astronomy, and I hope that I know that most of our show is part of the long podcast, and I know that it's help everyone doing their stuff at home or at work while listening. But with the current trend that the attention span becomes shorter, maybe I hope that we can have more short, not that really short, but at least something that can catch up with the younger listeners. And
And
yeah, we
so
also have high school students back then. Maybe he's in
yes.
a university now from India. Rick, remember him? Maalfinar Pilania?
I Apparently, I have done too many podcasts. I don't
Yes,
remember.
I know. I need to check.
Or not enough. Maybe that's it. Not enough podcasts. That's it.
Oh, okay. Maan Finder Pilanias. Uh, is Uncover Universe.
Now I remember. Yes. Menfinder or whatever it's. Yeah.
Yes.
So
And we have long time podcaster like Awesome Astronomy,
yeah.
Rob Sparks from the Noir Lab.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we have, currently on hold, the Last Minute Astronomers, previously observing with Webb. And then we have Cheap Astronomy, who's
Yep.
providing us with the backup podcast all the time. So I'm really happy to have all of them, and I hope that we can expand our community in the futures, and
And-
maybe we can also have like some short things that we can that we can use for the social media, because currently we have it on X and Facebook. We can have text and the link goes there and it's fine, but I think it's time for us to doing something with the threads,
Yeah.
which is
And Blue
going to
Sky.
have podcasts in their platform as well. So I think, yeah, social media is kind of a homework, because we need to keep adapt and adopt
And
with the
and
current trend
and
and
this is
technology with AI.
it's so complicated right now. And AI is it's such a complicated thing because it is used to refer to so many different things. Like, I was at Podfest almost a year ago, and I messaged Allie, and I was like, "You need to check out Adobe Podcasts."
And then I immediately messaged her back with a million questions because I was like, "Excuse you, this is AI. What the
I didn't get that.
frick?"
Did you try again?
Speaking of AI,
Oh, I accidentally
triggered the
triggered
monster.
Siri. The phones are listening.
Well, you know,
Uh,
I think. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, it's
Has
just that
anyone try Notebook LLM?
It's terrifying. It is clearly trained on astronomy casts. Is it Scott and the Girl? Is that the right pair of names? Like, you can listen to it, and I can pick out the podcasts that were used to train it, and that's horrifying.
so here's my whole spiel about AI and distinguishing between the different types of things that are called AI. The example is this Adobe podcast software. There's two different parts to it. One of them is Gen AI, and it is, pardon me, shit. Like, it is just, it's not good. And also, I refuse to use Gen AI because people are replacing me with it. But the other aspect of it is the speech enhancer that is just, it's machine learning.
Right.
It's machine learning. It's the type of machine learning that has been around forever. And like, I grilled Pamela about it, and she actually went and talked to the developers of this speech enhancement tool. And so I got to find out that not only is it machine learning, it was trained in-house on data that they commissioned and paid a fair price for. And it was all done in a way that I felt was above board. And I was like, okay, I'm comfortable using that. And the thing is, this machine learning technology that has honestly been around in like audio and video editing forever is being rebranded as AI to capitalize on the trend of using Gen AI.
Right.
And
That's exactly where I was going to
Yeah,
go.
so it's
yeah, it's
like-
been around since like 2012.
yeah, and
Is
that's
this like
fine.
like Levelator?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
like
Stuff like
Levelator's
that.
like an early version of it, but
Yeah.
like, you know, Isotope is sort of the plug-in go-to brand for things like machine learning-based noise reduction and multi-band compression.
Yeah, and it's just, it's the Adobe Podcast speech enhancer is just, it's very sophisticated noise reduction machine learning.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's fine. I'm happy to use that. I'll be honest, my opinion about Gen AI is kill it with fire. Because
well, what, God forbid you actually make something and learn about
Yeah.
yourself along the way.
Yeah, because the whole idea, like creating art, is supposed to be, it's about the process. It's about applying your skills, improving your skills. Like Alex said, learning things about yourself. It's supposed to be experiential. And Gen AI takes away that experiential nature of it. And
Right.
that, one of the reasons why I have strong feelings about it is because that makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because,
It's like if you read only the endings of books.
yeah,
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, I didn't
And
care about the journey.
and
and so,
that notebook. Okay,
Go
Ali.
ahead, Aviva.
yeah, go.
Just I try notebook LM a couple of days ago.
Mm.
So it we can just submit add our, for example, our articles through the link, and then it will process it into a script of not just a script of the of a podcast, but it can create a podcast, an interview, two people talking like to each other, and then deep dive into the topic. It was, I don't know, I should say awesome or terrifying.
Both. And awesome
Yeah, I
in
think so.
the original cast fear in the bottom of your stomach sense.
Yeah.
Bec- Go ahead.
Sorry, I will share a funny story about AI algorithms scraping from the internet and for training data. And this goes back to our earlier discussions about fanfic. It was,
I know where this is going.
yeah, Alex has heard me tell this story before. Um, People found out that ChatGPT was scraping from archive our own because it was spitting out terminology that is specific to a genre of fanfic called Omegaverse. I'm not going to explain to any of you what that is. You are welcome to go look it up.
Just Google it. Just
Yeah,
Google
just
it.
Google it. Just Google it. Yeah, good luck with that. But yeah, that's probably like one of the funniest stories, and it also like exposed a lot about how just it, it a lot of these Gen AI programs are so indiscriminate with the data they scrape for training that there is no quality control.
I mean, that is absolutely intentional because
Oh,
these
yeah.
people, I mean,
Mm.
they hear how many data points are going to be required. Because again, if something is developed around a very niche application, like, oh, I really want this to find areas of the sky I should look at, you know, and these are the very specific criteria I care about. Well, that doesn't take a lot of waiting to get the machine to understand a task like that. But when it's like, hey, listen to my voice and you tell me which parts are going to make me have the identity that listeners will get attached to. It might be able to do that. It might not. You know, it really depends on where you were at as a craftsperson before that. You know,
But-
but if you are an expert in audio, then you know which parts of the spectrum you need to sweeten for your particular podcast.
Yeah, and each podcast is it's different because each voice.
I
is
wouldn't
different.
balance Richard the same way I would balance you, and the same way I would balance Aviva.
Exactly.
Well, you're using a decent cardioid mic, and I just have the little bitty, ridiculous thing in my Mac laptop.
I will tell you that is a terrible shame because I can tell you have an exceptionally smoky voice.
Oh, well, I didn't know about that.
No, but you are correct. This is a pretty nice setup that I
Yeah.
got from a previous job, and when they terminated everybody in the division, I was like, "Well, does anybody know how to use that? Can I have it?"
It's amazing how stuff like that can sometimes happen.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Kids, if you work in the tech industry, those companies shutter so often. You know, most of the time they can't get rid of that inventory. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that, you know, look, I've been working on some stripe of machine learning project for, I don't know, 20 something years. It feels like, you know, and the only reason I haven't been is because I've been a full-time writer for the past two, you know, but, you know, most of the time we were talking about a very narrow band of application, you know, and even when it's a simple question like, hey, can you find the skin cancer And it's like, yeah, absolutely. And then it finds rulers.
Right, right. It's just, I do not understand what you have just done. I mean, there's certain things that just make no sense. I accidentally Googled the letter B, just like the letter B all by itself. Nothing else, just B. Typos
It's
occur.
like an episode of Sesame Street.
It really was, except the Google overview. This angered me so much. It led to Ali's wife teaching me how to turn off the Google search overview the next day. It came back with B is the 7th letter of the alphabet, and I was like, "What?"
What? Oh my God! What's making me lose my mind is this Grammarly
Yeah, it's no longer useful.
Oh my
onboarded
gosh.
AI. Like I was, because we have Grammarly installed on like CosmoQuest stuff.
I need to uninstall it.
Yeah, and now it's just like it's flagging words that are spelled correctly, and I felt like I was losing my mind. I'm like, I have an English degree. I don't have dyslexia. I'm pretty sure that word is spelled correctly. And then I spend like 10, 15 minutes looking it up because I'm a walking imposter syndrome, and I'm like, surely I missed something.
Yeah,
And it's like, no, it was the machine that was wrong.
Yeah.
Well, and I can tell you, I've had similar experience actually. So I've been editing, or receiving professional edits from copy editors for a decade now, and up until about 2022, the spell and grammar checker would be like,
Thank you.
80% correct. Right, where it's like it's not great, like you can't really trust it, but like it's not the worst thing in the world. Sometimes it doesn't get context, or something like that. It'll get really confused if you like make a joke and like it doesn't like puns, because it's like that's not what that's for.
Or if you're like writing in a colloquial
Right,
dialect,
right.
like
It wants to hand you It wants to hand you the majoritarian dialect there,
Yeah.
and so but in the last 2 years, when I receive copy edits back, it's just me and the copy editor versus Microsoft Word. It was ever since they integrated Copilot. It's so confidently wrong about everything, and I'm like, man, you're you're not even fooling me because you're so bad at this game. And
And I just want to let like everyone know who's watching and listening to this, like you are smarter than the AI algorithm. You
Yes.
are. And because I find a lot of people think that because it's a computer, because it's a program, that it must be smarter than me. It must be smarter than a person. It's not.
No.
It's a probability machine, and it, like any computer program, the whole garbage in, garbage out applies.
Yep.
And it's just like I encourage everyone, like, find that confidence. You are smarter than the AI algorithm. You
And-
are.
And we went from a
Yeah.
system. I have to admit, for me, spell checking was a transformative experience. I have dyslexia. Any of you who have instant messaged with me enough know, oh my God, some of the things that come out of my typing. P, B, D, all the same letter as far as my brain is concerned. And so my parents at one point were told, like, I wouldn't get past 5th grade. Kind of proved them wrong. And there was a point in 4th grade, I was in remedial English. I was going from a spell test where the teacher knew her audience and she would say the word. Say the word in a sentence. She would repeat the sentence. She would say the word. And it doesn't take me very long to misspell something. And so I'd write down my answer on my piece of paper, grab my notebook, and I was writing Battlestar Galactica fan fiction to return to a recurring theme of today. And she confiscated my notebook at one point because clearly I was doing something I shouldn't. I was like passing notes or something.
Oh.
And a week later, I was in gifted and talented English because they discovered, no, I just can't spell. The brain was there. It was the output that was flawed. And I got, my dad got a new computer for work which bumped the computer from our living room into my bedroom because it was like new computer for his job, old job computer replaced computer in the living room computer moved to my bedroom. And so suddenly I had an Apple IIe with spell check. And I could type my assignments and print them on the printer. And that spell check meant suddenly I could say the things I wanted to say. And spell check worked by knowing what are the most common ways that words get misspelled and looking for one-offs with the alphabet. And this is where like spell check used to like suggest a list of words instead of just one word. Sometimes like a good one will still suggest multiple words if it's not entirely sure what you want. And so this was based on both a algorithmic knowing what words are closest to what you have typed and also knowing what words are selected most often when something gets misspelled. And so it was all maths. And then it switched from being entirely maths to being what is the most likely next word in the sentence. And when you switch your spell check from being the thing I am looking at is most likely based on machine learning understanding of how things get misspelled and machine learning going through and figuring out this word is statistically closest to this other word in the dictionary, to instead, what is the word most likely to be based on reading all the things on the internet? What is the word that is most common? Those are not the same thing. And so we'll often run into things where, like one that I get fairly often is I'll go to write a word like desiccate and it will turn it into desperate.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same.
I love whenever I'm trying to like text with someone about Deep Space Nine and it turns Ducat into disaster. And I'm just like, okay, yeah. And so now, like me and my wife, just when we're texting about DS9, we just call him Gold Disaster. That's his name now.
I accidentally I sent someone the message gridlock instead of good luck the other day. Nara, if you're out there, I'm just going to say gridlock from now on. It seems to work for 2025. So anyways, we've come a long way from podcasting. We've run into the next time block,
In
which
so many
actually
ways.
totally works because the person for the next time block will be ready in a few minutes.
We're going to be doing some, I think, cool like virtual.
We're going to be talking
Stargazing?
about Starfront observatories. I'm not sure entirely what technologies he has access to tonight. On the diagonal is commenting, when your software is set to American English so it can't recognize British English and flags every word in French and Spanish. Oh, I know. It's yeah. Oh, podcasting. Rich,
Start
what's
that
yours?
podcast. If I
Yeah.
could leave one
Yeah.
thing with your podcasting crowd, start that
That's-
podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's I want to say that.
It is not
Just started.
right. It is not about hitting 1 million followers. It is not about making money off of it. It is
Yeah.
about doing the podcast and
Yes.
holding yourself to the highest standard that you can hold yourself to. And if you
Yeah.
do those things, that will be a great time. I guarantee it.
Mhm.
Like I said, don't use Gen AI. You might accidentally miss finding out stuff about yourself.
Yeah, just like the creative process is in itself is so rewarding and wonderful, and I think that's why Gen AI just really baffles me
Yeah.
because it removes the whole part of creativity that I love. Like it's not necessarily the end product that I care about. It's what I got to do along the way. It's the process. It's what I learned about myself, the friends I made. It's like, oh, the podcast is the friends we made along the way, I guess. But
Absolutely,
yeah,
though.
and that's
And-
it.
yeah.
And if you use Gen AI for these things, you miss out on that.
Yep.
Well,
And I
there's
don't
also
want people to miss out on that.
there's also the paradigm of working within the limitations to conquer the limitations is one of the greatest intellectual exercises you can have creatively.
Yeah.
And, to think that somebody is out there being, oh, I'm very into science, I'm very into all this, but not into solving the puzzle of how you make something great with what you have and what you're capable of. I think
Right.
that's something you need to look at a little more closely.
And one
Yeah,
of the things I've
but
realized
I think
working
I
with
want to add
Rich.
something that
Go ahead, Aviva. Sorry.
we should always, doing, I mean, create the content um, by ourselves. It's
Yeah.
human works. But then we we indeed facing the world with AI. So I'm thinking of like AI as a support for someone like me in the con. We are non-native speaker for English, so Gen AI or AI or whatever it is, it's kind of helping us with the
Mm.
translations. But
Mm.
still, we need to edit it because we need the human voice for it. And then, yeah, I can't like, I want to thank all of our podcaster, Loretta Cannon with Hot or Hot Astra Historia. We have Awesome Astronomy. We have Actual Astronomy. As a Spaceman, we have Cheap Astronomy. We have uh,
Travelers in the
Astroman.
Night.
Yeah, Travelers in the
Okay,
Night is a
you
good
can
one.
continue. And then we have, yeah, Travelers in the Night. And then we have Noir Lab. And then we have Deep Astronomy. We have, wait,
Mm.
am I forgetting someone here?
I'm
Oh, there's
sure you are.
so many.
We've had
Yeah, we have so many people. And then, yeah, of course, Pamela and Fraser.
Well, yes,
And
there.
then Cosmic Perspective, Andy Poniros. Thank you, everyone.
Yep.
I know we have so many more, but it
Yep.
will be a really long list
Listen, thank you
because we
all.
started in 2008, 2009 until now.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And we're
And
looking forward to have you in 365 Days of Astronomy.
we are now throwing to them rockets, and I will be back with IP from Starfront Observatories in just a moment. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you on the other side.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.
Queuing up those rockets, getting the rockets. Yeah.